Good day. In today's podcast called the Cryptoverse Saga, my classmates and I will discuss the topic of the crypto universe in the context of the current global transformations. We will discuss the importance of understanding the aspect, the crypto, NFT, and their controversies and how they influence the world at the moment. We'll also have the guest speakers who will share their points of view on given topic and share their experiences on NFTs and cryptocurrency. What is crypto? Cryptocurrency sounds fancy and attractive, but do we understand what it is? Before talking directly about cryptocurrencies, it's necessary to define the key terms of technologies that allow cryptocurrencies to be new possible monetary unit of the world. Yes, the scope of the cryptocurrencies is becoming significant and international. Blockchain. Blockchain is the technology that ensures the existence of the cryptocurrency, among other things. Bitcoin is the name of the most famous cryptocurrency for which blockchain technology was invented. And now, cryptocurrency is a medium of exchange like the US dollar. It is created and electronically stored in blockchain, which uses encryption techniques to control the creation of monetary units and verify the transfer of funds. Cryptocurrency has no physical form and exists only in a network. Its supply doesn't determined by the central bank, and the network is decentralized, which means there are no third parties, like banks when you have transactions, but crypto holders like you. And there is no tracking from any parties. So basically the transparency of the transactions is high. And the questions, do you trade cryptos, guys, or do you have plans to do it?
I do trade cryptos. I first started working with Phantom. Phantom is they have their own network. If you research about it, you can see how Ethereum is a network per se, besides Bitcoin. So Phantom is a completely new network that has no gas fees, which is something incredible. It works like how Waze impacted the world because it works with all the different people that are online. So they'll be harnessing data. So instead of trying to do something so precise with, okay, you have to grab this block and transfer to this block to and then to this block with Phantom, you can just do it to any block that's near. So it has no gas fees, and you can also stake, which is a really interesting part about it. When you stake, you can get a 68% APY. Sorry. So it's really interesting, and because it has no gas fees, at the moment you're staking, you're not losing a single cent when you're staking your money. Staking is basically
Yeah, I was
uh,
gonna ask, like, could you go more in depth into what staking is? Because I've heard, like, in crypto, like, when you invest in not only that, but in games like NFTs and stuff, you can stake. But I don't really understand what staking means or.
okay. So staking with crypto is a little bit different with NFTs. When you stake with cryptos, you're basically lending your blocks because you have blocks to the people so they can use it. So when you're staking it, you're just like putting your assets on freeze so it can be used by someone else, and you cannot retire it at a certain point, like whenever. You must retire it at a certain point. So when you stake, you're just basically lending your assets for the technology to work with easy, like with more ease. So when you stake, the percent you get of APY depends on how much you're staking, because there's one thing called pool. A pool is basically the total of staked cryptos in a certain platform.
Yeah.
So depending on how much you stake, like how much you are, like, you impact that pool. Like if you're 50% the staker of that crypto, you get incredible high APYs because you're lending more. You're like just because you're trusting it more, they'll give you a higher payback.
Oh, okay. So what I like about Bitcoin, different to like I don't know other currencies, is that it's a limited supply, right? So it's not like the dollar that you can just inject money. Like there's a limited supply, and it is what it is. So that's what's interesting about it, and I see value in that. I don't know what you guys think about Bitcoin. You see value in Bitcoin as well, or just because now it's hyped up, now you want to invest in it, or do you actually believe it's good?
I've actually I've known about Bitcoin since like 2011 because as a kid, I was interested in the deep web, and I knew that the deep web used Bitcoin for transfers and payments, but I had no expectation that the price of some like of a coin would rise. So I just saw it as a matter of paying. Like if you put this $20, you're transferring $20.
Yeah,
But as you say, it's a limited supply, and that's like one really interesting thing because it's a limited supply. If people stop trading at some point, the lesser supply there is, the higher price it will be. So uh, maybe like I do want to invest it because there's a hype about it, and maybe I've seen the hype of okay, so we are 2020 kids, let's say 2 years ago, and it's totally hyped, and we're all set on this thing, but not even 50% of the population of the world has internet, and more
yeah,
so like they do not have financial proficiency with the internet. So it's a really it's a really small percentage of people that are actually putting money into something that is so invisible because
yeah,
it's the internet. So maybe with the hype you can see that we had now, and okay, let's say it's a bubble. Maybe like a good strategy if you're totally skeptical and you think it's a bubble, what would you think if 20 years from now, when the population keeps rising from 7 billion, let's say, to 12 billion, and let's say 75% of the people have internet, and even more so have increased their financial proficiency with uh, with the internet, the bubble will even rise higher. So if you're skeptical, that's a good investment too.
I feel it has gone up not only because of the hype, but because due to inflation, the dollar has been devaluing a lot. So people are transferring, like there's been a huge transfer in assets, and a lot of people are investing in this coin as well. They're transferring their money to other assets due to inflation. So that's pretty interesting too. That's why
Yeah,
it's
with
also going up, I think.
yeah, with Ukraine and some other countries, you can see how crypto has been really useful. So, like, let's forget about inflation or something, but it has totally like set set another paradigm for financial systems because it has actually helped a lot of people in some countries where their currency is not stable as it is Bitcoin or another crypto.
Yeah. So now moving from Bitcoin, I'd like to talk about NFTs. So yeah, NFTs, how they are currently changing the economy and disrupting industries. So to begin with, I'd like to introduce what NFTs are. So this is for listeners who are not really familiar or have heard about them but don't really understand them. So NFT stands for a non-fungible token, but that doesn't make it clear. So non-fungible more or less means that it's unique and can't be replaced with something else. So for example, a Bitcoin is fungible. So you trade it for another Bitcoin and you'll have exactly the same thing. A one-of-a-kind trading card, however, like a non-fungible token, if you trade it for a different card, you'd have something completely different. So many argue that NFTs are useless, that they are not really useful or they're just pixels on the screen, which hold no value because we have seen how some NFTs have sold for thousands, if not millions of dollars. And I believe this is because people are not well educated and on how they work. Of course, many projects don't work out and are not really valuable, but some of them truly are. And this is because of the utility they have, I believe. So I will dive into what utility means for an NFT, basically. So what is NFT utility, right? So NFT assigns a use to the digital asset outside of owning a piece of artwork. A utility NFT can be where someone receives a physical piece of art that matches the NFT they purchased. It could be unique access to an event, exclusive in-person membership. So we've seen this all around. Have they expanded into the utility? One project that I really like, like I don't, you guys heard about Gary Vee. I know you probably heard about that guy. So he launched, Gary Vee Friends. He gives access to people who buy his NFT to, whatever his speeches or when he talks and whatever events he makes, people access them through their NFT. So I believe it's a different way for people to connect with other people, and that's disrupting the business. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think NFTs are useless? Do you think it's just something of the moment that in the future is going to be different?
I think it's very interesting how he's transforming, taking an NFT and making it into like a ticket for events. I feel like that is just like mind blowing. He's basically creating a new way of making money through it. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And also, when you create an NFT, like you cannot, when you create one, you can also get royalties whenever they're being transferred. So that's another source of income. And I believe this open up opportunities for a lot of people making money. We've seen people trading NFTs, kids, 15-year-olds making thousands, millions of dollars, trading this. So I feel like we're in an area with like crypto NFTs where there's open up opportunity for a lot of people to make money. It's pretty cool. So
Yeah, with Gary Vee, I saw he put out a project with KOI Fish. So
yeah,
they have this restaurant that you can only get into if you have an NFT.
right.
So that's really interesting because it's revolutionary. But you can see also how Lollapalooza even has their own
Yeah,
NFT. You can buy an NFT for a lifetime membership of Lollapalooza at 20. I think it was 25,000, no, or 250,000. I think it was last time I saw it, and that's really interesting because at some point you can trade it, and also with the going back to the Gary Vee, I remember that with their KOI NFT, you can actually lend it to a person,
yeah,
so
right.
you
So
can
they can go. Yeah.
you can rent it. It's really interesting.
But I believe something else that's important with the NFTs is like the network. So like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, like for example, like you can interact with those people. So celebrities own those NFTs and you can actually be in the same club per se and you can talk to them. So it's also like a networking thing, I believe, because only the people who own one are invited to certain events as well. So you can also, that's a business opportunity. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah, that's really amazing. What NFT has done is really amazing, like every part of it, but uh, there's so much more to be discovered in it because like what we're just watching the beginning, and
Yeah.
even though it might seem like a hype or a fad that uh, was before, it's totally like a revolutionary thing that will go long ways.
I like how diverse it is. Like, how can you play it differently? Like, you can use it for many different things. It's not just a picture, it's not just like artwork that's digital. Like, there's many uses to it, which is amazing. So, Faraz, you want to move forward with your topic or you want to add
Well,
to
I know we're talking about all the great things about crypto. However, there's a lot of controversial aspects of cryptos and NFTs as well. These include the topics of environmental impacts from mining crypto, money laundering, and rug pulls. We have seen evidence of environmental impacts that come with mining crypto coins and other crypto related activities. Do you guys think NFTs and crypto can ever be actually sustainable?
I think if we consider cryptocurrencies, so basically Bitcoin, along with other cryptocurrencies, is often referred to as a dirty currency, just because of the energy that been used for the mining the Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, becoming a huge problem, like a global problem. So, but there are still ways to improve. There are still possibilities to solve this issue with the use of renewable energy, because renewable energy continues to be like a vital way to make a cryptocurrencies greener. So in Houston, there is a company called Lancium, if I'm not mistaken, which announced a 150 million investment in renewable minings in 2022. So the companies are really concerned with the problem of sustainability. And also, as for the countries, like the same practice is used in Kazakhstan, where I come from. Like the country is at the top in crypto mining after the USA and Russia. And one thing unites them: these are like commodity countries. So they are really depend on the energy use, because in my country, in Kazakhstan, we have the problem of the energy consumption, and there is a huge threat in the energy balance in our country. So renewable energy can be a really working way to make cryptocurrencies greener, I believe.
That's great to hear that there is a potential way to make it sustainable. So now, moving on to the money, there's a lot of money laundering and hacking through crypto and NFTs, and it's still a very prevalent issue. This is not a surprise considering just in 2021 there was a trade volume of $22 billion across crypto and NFTs, and this has been one of the easiest ways to clean money for criminals. Uh,
Yeah.
and also crypto exchanges continue to get hacked, and in at least 6 cases hackers have stolen more than $100 million, according to data compiled by NBC News. And one of the biggest heists that happened in like just happened in December 2020, 2 years ago. The crypto trading platform Bitmart announced that hackers broke into their company and stole $200 million
Oh.
assets. Yeah, and the company froze all customer transactions for 3 days before it allowed them to like trade again. So another thing are rug pulls. It's a huge ethical conundrum that is surrounding the crypto space, and one is Squiggles. It's a scam. I don't. Do any of you know Squiggles?
No, I'm not familiar.
I know. I was
Can you
alerted
elaborate on
about
it,
it.
Alejandro?
Yeah, I was alerted about it because I do own some NFTs, and I belong to some Discord chats they have. So in this specific NFT I have, they mentioned how uh, that team that's working with Squiggles is already fully doxxed. Doxxed means like they have already identified the persons who are doing this, and they have traced how they done wrongful things on the past. So I was alerted like 3 4 months ago about squiggles, and but that's really heartbreaking because it's such a beautiful thing to be brought up into the world, and
Yeah.
just to try to get the easy money. Like if you're playing baseball and you're just trying to get a home run,
And also
pretty
for
sad.
the people that aren't aware of the whole situation, I'll just go through what happened with Squiggles. So it's an NFT project that basically the founders in Wales have allegedly stolen $10 million from their investors and fans who have believed in the product and was really like invested into it. They were exposed through social media for buying for expensive clubbing, lavish dinners, buying Rolls Royces, and even creating fake giveaways for their investors just for them to like have some hope. And basically the project eventually got deplatformed by the NFT marketplace OpenSea. Scams like these are like creating a very dark cloud of speculation under the NFT and crypto community, and it's just sad because it's such a great community.
Yeah, because I've also seen a case right now. I read a post that this guy hacked another guy that had bored apes. They were worth thousands of dollars, and he would trade him to himself for like what, $10, $20, something crazy. So he would trade him to his account, and that's not traceable. So there's no way of. That's the thing with cryptos. There's no way of getting that back. Like,
But
so,
that specific thing with Bored Ape, it was an error with a platform that's called Rarible.
okay.
So the thing was that the guy had listed it before for 0.77 Ethereum at some point, but the sale ended, it expired, but he did not cancel it. So
No, that was I know that case. That was before that. Yeah, but accident he had listed it for another amount, so he just lost on it. But the case I'm saying, it was just right now, some guy actually hacked an account of someone who owned the NFT, and he would trade them to himself. and even the the Bored Ape like club, it
Well, I
contacted the
remember.
guy and he was like, "Are you the one doing this? Like, are you doing these transactions?" He was like, "No, it's not me. Like, I thought I had them on my account, so somebody hacked
I,
his account."
I saw that on Twitter how the person was saying that he was crying out for help, like saying that that's his most, like his only valuable asset at the moment,
Yeah,
and like, that was really heartbreaking. Uh, but what can we do? Work on cybersecurity maybe, and that's one thing that will never stop happening. Like evil will not ever stop in the world, but we're just trying to get cybersecurity to catch up with us, the people who are interested in doing good things with the art.
yeah. So basically, we're almost done here, guys. So I'll just in conclusion. So we're taking global strategy class, and I'd like to talk about what do you guys think about this crypto NFT thing that's going on right now. How is it impacting the global economy right now? How it's disrupting many industries, which is pretty cool. Like we've seen with the NFTs and stuff like that. So I don't know, Alejandro, you're very into this. Like, what do you
I,
think? How
I
is it impact? How do you guys think it's gonna impact the world? Moving forward.
well, right after this like podcast, like I just we were talking about the renewable energy sector, and I'm just realizing how big Bitcoin is for that. I mean, it's just going to be pushing renewable energy on so many different things, not just Bitcoin. It's just going to make it way more like relevant, and it's really cool because it's going to just help, I mean, the world in general.
Yeah, and going back to what you mentioned with sustainability, when you trade NFTs, they use Ethereum, and at some point, you need miners to aid with the transaction. So, uh, let's say that if you bought a physical piece at some point, you've actually done some harm to the world. Let's say at some point because work was done, you had transportation, you had oil, food, a workforce, everything that was spended from the world, and maybe like they can facilitate future path to work on and like better up what they can do with this. But I think they will evolve and do a great job on sustainability because not only when you buy a physical piece, you actually have an impact in the world, but this is a new technology trying to do something completely new in the world. So I'm just happy to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like we're in the early stages. We're starting to see how this technology is developing, and we're yet to see what it can get to be because now we have the metaverse coming up, how this cryptos and NFTs are going to interact with that metaverse, and we don't even know really how it's going to work in the future. So we're understanding these new technologies, how they're developing, but they for sure will have an impact in the world in the near future.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan, and I'm the guest speaker on NFTs and crypto. You could call me an expert. So essentially, first, I would like to thank you guys for letting me on the podcast. I just want to go through a few key insights. So first, I'm gonna go through a hot wallet and a cold wallet and what they are. So a hot wallet within the crypto world is connected to the internet, and it could be very vulnerable to online attacks, which could lead to stolen funds, and that's how we see most scams take place. But it's faster and makes it much easier to trade or spend crypto, and this is the most commonly used way of using crypto within this wallet. A cold wallet is typically not connected to the internet, so while it may be more secure, it's way less convenient, and that's why people typically don't use this method of wallet. So in today's world, we just have to be very cautious in where we put our money because in reality, this is a very new thing, and while it is deemed to be very secure, people are still getting scammed day by day, and we see that through rug pulls and so much more. Anyway, thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Farry. Thank you.